Surviving on a diet of poached gnomes and toxic mountain moss, the merciless, scrawny war tribes of Eastern Taladas have turned the ashen ruins of a fallen human empire into a feral playground of bone armor and blood feuds. Welcome to another DragonLance Saga episode. My name is Adam, and today we are diving deep into the ecology of the volcanic Steamwall, the apocalyptic dust bowl of Old Aurim, and the misty refuge of the Rainward Isles. I'd like to take a moment and thank the DL Saga members and Patreon patrons, and invite you to consider becoming a member or patron. You can even pick up Dragonlance Media or get $10 signing up to startplaying.games using my affiliate links. I'm referencing the Time of the Dragon box set for this information. If I leave anything out or misspeak, please leave a comment below. To understand the sheer hostility of Eastern Taladas, we must first look at the Steamwall. This massive volcanic mountain range completely blocks Southern Hosk from the east. For humans or elves, it is an uninhabitable nightmare. Corrosive steam rolls up from the Indanalis Sea, mixing with the ash and sulfuric gas of active volcanoes to create a toxic perpetual rain that erodes the lifeless rock. Black, poisonous streams rush down the peaks past boiling mud pots, forming rivers where the banks are entirely dead except for eerie clumps of red and gold moss. As these waters flow down the lower slopes, they warp the very rules of nature. Mighty oaks become gnarled and tortured. Animals, from squirrels to giant bears, develop ulcerous skin patches and bizarre physical deformities. The temperaments shift drastically. The meek become aggressive. The aggressive become vicious. By the time these brackish, sour rivers reach the foothills, the poisons dilute enough to be non-lethal, but the land remains a breeding ground for fearsome monsters. Yet, among the beasts, three intelligent races struggle to survive: the beleaguered Traldor dwarves, the hardened Merak Kender, and the true masters of the muck, the Steamwall Hobgoblins. Unlike their burly cousins elsewhere on Krynn, the Steamwall Hobgoblins are scrawny, skeletal fellows with loose, deep red-brown skin hanging off their frames and large bloodshot eyes. Standing 6 feet tall, the males wear nothing but a loincloth, and both sexes deck themselves out in macabre ornaments: teeth, fingers, and toes harvested from their victims, mixed with bright cloth and feathers. Because earthquakes routinely collapse the mountain caves, these hobgoblins build draft longhouses on stilts to escape predatory vermin. These flimsy thatched roofs offer miserable protection from the freezing winter rains, and the entire clans frequently burn their own homes down by carelessly building indoor fires just to stay warm. What truly defines this culture is their obsession with death. When a hobgoblin dies, their skull is cleaned entirely by captive nests of flesh-eating ants and placed into a dedicated niche on the front wall of the longhouse. Taking heads is the ultimate metric of valor. Tribes frequently raid the nearby Merak Kender and Traldor dwarves to bring back enemy heads, stacking them in gruesome pyramids outside their doors to face their ancestors. Yet surprisingly, they are hospitable to foreign merchants. Wise traders who don't offend their hosts can barter metal weapons for rare mountain hides, toxic tree sap, or bizarre spell ingredients requested by mainland wizards. They worship no gods, only their ancestors, believing in a simple afterlife judged by a figure they call Mwarg, the hobgoblin name for Aristam, who they cheerfully assume overthrew their old god Hitta. East of the Steamwall lies Old Aurim. Once the greatest empire in Taladas, it vanished in a single instant during the cataclysm when a cosmic rock shattered the land and threw up the volcanic peaks. The dark, ash-choked age that followed scoured the survivors with black rain and horrific plagues like cholera and dysentery. Lacking holy priests and sanitation knowledge, the citizens piled their dead in town squares, intensifying the epidemics until the human population completely dwindled to nothing. Today, Aurim is a barren dust bowl of petrified trees, grand ruins, and a totally different nomadic breed of feral hobgoblins. But they are not alone. Before the Dark Queen Takesis perfected her creation of Draconians and Ansalon, she used the shattered isolation of Aurim as her private laboratory. Most of her early experiments were twisted failures or infertile aberrations, but one vicious breed managed to breed and prosper: the Trag. These proto-Draconians are unique to Taladas, and their brutal success has recently piqued the Dark Gods' interest once more. While the Hobgoblins dominate the open, dusty plains, the Trag claim absolute domain over the ancient stone cities. No love is lost between them. Any Trag caught in the plains becomes dinner for the Hobgoblins, and any Hobgoblin caught in the ruins is tortured by the Trag for weeks. The nomadic hobgoblins of the Aurim Plains are far more violent and bloodthirsty than their mountain cousins. They have no concept of family, females will kill their own unweaned infants, and children regularly murder elders as a rite of passage. Power is the only law. Tribes are ruled by chiefs who maintain control purely through terror, and multiple tribes are loosely held together by a great chief who keeps his crown by constantly tricking his subordinates into warring with one another. These plain runners wear nothing but scrounged, mismatched armor taken from ruins or corpses. They are strict carnivores who hunt sparse game, frequently resorting to cannibalism. They consider human meat tough and stringy, but they actively hunt gnomes, claiming gnome meat is tough, flavorful, and keeps for a long time. They live in squalid leather tents, migrating whenever the water dries up or a stronger tribe bullies them out of a prime camping spot. Because they view death as a failure and fear as cowardice, these hobgoblins employ bizarre, contradictory battlefield tactics. While they love a sneaky ambush if the odds heavily favor them, an even match demands they march openly, slowly, and incredibly loudly through the enemy to prove they do not fear death. They completely ignore advanced tactics like feints or flanking maneuvers in favor of a brutal, straight-on frontal attack, suffering cataclysmic casualties without even breaking formation. Despite the grim savagery, Old Aurim holds legendary wonders. Brave or foolish treasure hunters risk the hobgoblins to plunder ancient imperial artifacts, lured by the myth of the Field of Dragons, a hidden valley where the oldest dragons of Krynn supposedly go to die, its floor buried completely beneath the mountains of bone and gem-encrusted scales. For those seeking a reprieve from the ash, the northern Rainward Isles offer a misty, cold sanctuary of gloomy pine forests and craggy rocks. Though battered by fierce winter ocean storms and guarded by hidden jagged reefs, these islands are a treasure trove of wild orchards, berries, elk, and beaver. Here, out of the ruins of Aurim, communities of humans, dwarves, and kender have done something entirely unique for Krynn. They have cast aside ancient racial prejudices, working in absolute trust and cooperation to defend their lonely farms from giant winter wolves, wild centaurs, and the restless wandering spirits of Old Aurim that haunt the misty nights. But that is all the time I have to talk about the hobgoblins of Steamwall and Old Aurim. Would your campaign style lean toward the hyper-survival of the Rainward Isles, or a high-stakes heist into a ruined city ruled by the Proto-Draconian Trag? Leave a comment below. I would like to invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, ring the bell to get notified about upcoming videos, and click the like button. It all helps other Dragonlance fans learn about this channel and its content. Thank you for watching. This has been Adam with Dragonlance Saga, and until next time, remember, all we have are children's stories.